B Spirit. Make some noise. And let's get ready for some beats. Look at all the beats. You gotta be alert. The bees over there. Oh. Okay, are we in the mood now? I think it's time for the People Show.
Time go by, bro. It's a Mardi Gras party, my brother. Everybody gonna be out. I already have my time. Yeah. Got my knees together. Looking good. Feeling good. Run me something, mister. Ow!
Wow, what a fun slideshow we had to celebrate all of our folks that are celebrating special milestones with UTMB. And what about our audience revelers? Let's give it up for those folks handling the beads out. Thank you. Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Julie Cantini, and I'm the Director of Alumni and Parent Relations and the Chair of the Employee Advisory Council. It is my pleasure to welcome you to the 2014 Employee Service Pin Ceremony. Throughout UTMB's 123-year history, our employees have shared a deep commitment to excellence and a desire to shape the future of health sciences education, research, and patient care. Today, we will recognize 1,418 of those faculty and staff members for their dedication to advancing UTMB's mission. We also will acknowledge 578 GEM card recipients today. UTMB's employees play a critical role in the overall success of the university, and I would like to say thank you to everyone being honored for their service today. And now, as they say during Carnival, laissez les bons temps rouler, or let the good times roll. Let's kick off the celebration by recognizing the GEM card recipients. UTMB's GEM program was introduced in 2000 to recognize and reward employees, students, and volunteers for their professionalism and for going the extra mile in their daily activities. At this time, we would like to honor members of our community who have demonstrated exemplary behavior. If you are one of the 578 employees who has received a GEM card since the last service pin employee ceremony, please stand for a well round of applause. Thank you for your continued efforts. Now we will honor our colleagues who have given more than 18,360 years of service to UTMB. First, I would like to acknowledge employees who have received a 5-year service pin. Please stand for a round of applause. Congratulations on reaching your first milestone at UTMB. Those of you with 10 years of service, please stand. That's my day. I'm here 10 years. Thank you for contributing 1 decade to UTMB. Now, would everybody celebrating 15 years of service today please stand? Thank you for your contributions to UTMB. Now we're going to recognize employees with 20 years of service. The same year these employees started with UTMB, Mardi Gras history was made when more than 700 male and female revelers rolled in a single parade. The throws for this parade included beads, cups, and 3 different types of doubloons or commemorative coins. So will those of you with 20 years of service please stand and let us show our appreciation. The food most often associated with Mardi Gras is the king cake. King cake is typically made with brioche dough laced with cinnamon and glazed with purple, green, and gold icing. During the 1989 carnival season, Hadel's Bakery of New Orleans shipped more than 31,000 king cakes to locations around the U.S. and the world. Hadel's is now the leading distributor of this sweet treat, shipping more than 60,000 king cakes annually. We're having a celebration after this, so I hope they ship some here today. For employees who are celebrating 25 years of service, please stand for a round of applause. Now we're going to go back 30 years to 1984 Mardi Gras, when celebrity grand marshals included Tom Jones, Kool and the Gang, and Fats Domino. Kirk Douglas also joined in the festivities as the king of the highly anticipated Bacchus Parade. Would everyone with a 30-year service pin please stand? thank you for 3 decades of service to UTMB. Next, we're going to recognize employees with 35 years of service. One of the longest-running Mardi Gras traditions is the Rex Ball. This prestigious ball incorporates traditional pageantry, grand march, processions, music, and dancing. It also features a royal court consisting of a king, a queen, 8 dukes, and 8 maids. The king and queen of Carnival usually are prominent people in the city of New Orleans, and in 1979, this honor was bestowed on Lawrence Eustace and Deborah Hopkins Huger. Please stand if you have had the honor of working at UTMB since 1979. Your commitment and dedication to the university are truly commendable. Now, please join me in welcoming UTMB President Dr. David Callender to the stage as we pay tribute to 4 employees who have given 40 years of service to UTMB.
Thank you, Julie. This celebration is always great fun, and having a festive Mardi Gras atmosphere is certainly near and dear to the hearts of Galvestonians. And of course, we began celebrating Mardi Gras in earnest again about 20 years ago. The celebration of Mardi Gras had actually died out here with the beginning of World War II, but George and Cynthia Mitchell decided that they would revive the tradition. And we've been going strong and growing the celebration since they did that 20 years ago. So I'm told that in this particular year, the Mardi Gras celebration here attracted more than 250,000 people to our island for the couple of weeks that we celebrated. And of course, what better way to celebrate today? The amazing spirit of the people who make us shine in so many ways and on so many occasions. Our people really are the heart of UTMB. Every day, our employees and faculty use their skills and talents to support our important mission work, as well as all of the work that supports what we do with the mission. I thank each of you for your marvelous commitment to excellence. You know, I have a chance to go out on a lot of occasions and talk to alumni and supporters and friends around the state and around the country, and I always talk about our people. Our people are our core, the strength of what we do. Our people is really the principal factor that's always made UTMB great, and that certainly hasn't changed in the present time. But now we have a time to celebrate some people who have been with us for 40 years. We're going to start with Dr. Henry Cavazos, Associate Dean in the School of Health Professions. As you'll see in the upcoming video, Dr. Cavazos wears many hats, literally. In addition to ties, he's a collector of both. I didn't know that. He's also the go-to man if you want to know anything about UTMB history. He can tell you what Old Red looked like 40 years ago as compared to today. And I'm told he likes to recall times under each of the U.S. presidents who have governed during his 40-year tenure with UTMB. It's been 8 presidents, Henry. That's amazing. So let's watch this video to learn more about Dr. Cavazos.
I know the school, and it was called the School of Allied Health Sciences. The school opened in 1968, and I got here as soon as I could. It was 1974. So I've had the great pleasure of serving every dean our school has had. I've had the pleasure of serving every president this university has had. It's been an enlightening experience. I've run into so many wonderful people. And what Dr. Bing was able to do, which was just amazing, is that he had every single chairman in the School of Medicine buy into the fact that we needed a school of health professions, that they embraced the idea that allied health professionals were not just auxiliary people, but they were partners in taking care of patients. And how he did that, I don't know, but he did. It worked. So we were the first school of health professions west of the Mississippi, and proud of it.
I really respect Dr. Cavazos for the knowledge that he has about our school and about all of the programs. You can ask him anything and he can tell you the answer.
He really serves as the school's historian. And sometimes you don't know where you're going if you don't know where you've been. So in my role working with incoming students and also working with our alumni, it helps me make better decisions so that I can implement new things, keep growing, but not forgetting our past and honoring that. And I think that is a huge compliment to what he has offered over these last 40 years.
His ability to extend himself to other individuals. That's the mark of Henry. To be in that role outside yourself at all times. That's why Henry was such a success.
He has got to hold a record of doing the most for the school in more varied positions than any other person has ever employed there. And it was always a pleasure working with him and for him.
When I first came to UTMB as an employee, he took me under his wing right away and really mentored me and told me how the institution operates and what was expected and how I should perform on a campus like this and what are some of the important things. And typically it all boiled down to let's make the students comfortable. Let's make the students happy and let's make them most of all succeed.
He's a great mentor. He's encouraged me to go to school and get my college degree. He thinks about everyone all the time. If he can help someone, he does. If he can do something for someone, he does.
Dr. Cavazos, I want to thank you and tell you that I appreciate you very much in the fact that you've supported, encouraged, and pushed me to continue my education. In this, I have earned 2 degrees following my heart's passion of law degree and study criminology at U of H in the pursuit of my JD degree, and that is because of you. And I want to thank you for all you've done in your support of all of us in the department.
And Henry, thank you so much for all that you've done for the School of Health Professions and all that you've done for UTMB.
Congratulations and thank you for all the accomplishments that you have provided to the School of Health Professions and UTMB.
I think he's been a remarkable mentor to me, but most of all, he's been a very special friend. Congratulations, Henry Cavazos.
Ability to find my way and contribute to the School of Health Professions for as long as I have, I would put that as a pretty high ranking achievement. Just finding a way to make contributions to that fine institution.
Congratulations on 40 years!
Come on up, Henry. Next, we'd like to recognize Dr. Owen Brian Holland, Director of the Hypertension Service in the Division of Endocrinology, Department of Internal Medicine. He is a Ball High School graduate and a 1968 graduate of UTMB School of Medicine. Dr. Holland, as some of you may know, is also an avid gardener. I understand that when plumerias are in bloom, you can follow their scent to find his office, and he often brings his gorgeous blooming plumeria plants to work. After practicing medicine at UTMB for 40 years, Dr. Holland teaches his residents that sometimes it's best to rely on experience and wisdom, and not always a costly test to make the right diagnosis. Let's watch this video about Dr. Holland and his time at UTMB.
Dr. Holland is such a gentleman
such a kind and a considerate person. The staff, of course, adored him, and his patients adore him.
My first experience with Brian Holland was when he actually hired me into the Division of Endocrinology back in 1990. So I've had the wonderful opportunity to know Brian for the last 24 years. Very grateful to Brian for hiring me because he gave me the opportunity to work for this wonderful institution and have it be a big part of my life for the last 24 years.
Very involved in patient care now. I had a very active career doing research, was funded by NIH for many years, but those days are behind me. It just got to be too many balls to be juggling at the same time. And so I'm doing basically clinical care, teaching in various roles.
If I was someone who had diabetes or an endocrine disorder, Brian would be the doctor that I'd want to take care of me because I know that he knows everything there is to know about my disease and how best for me to manage it. It's truly amazing commitment that he has to patient care.
I've really had a wonderful experience. I really enjoy, there are many patients that I've followed, some of for 30 years or so, and so that's satisfying. An experience from a professional level is, say, being a minister would, as far as long-term, very close and trusting relationship with patients.
I've known Brian for now the last 25 years. Brian originally recruited me here to UTMB out of my lab at Harvard. He's loved by all of his patients. Whenever I do consult service and I see one of Dr. Holland's patients, they all beam when I talk about Dr. Holland, and they want to make sure that everything that we do in terms of adjusting their management is okay with him, because they wouldn't dream of doing anything that he didn't approve of.
He's a legend in the Plumeria Society. I don't know if he's presently president, but I know that he has been an officer, and that he's very well known. Everyone knew who he was, and because I worked with him, I was in the fold.
Plumerias are the flowers that in Hawaii they make leis from. They're very colorful flowers, or can be. Many of them have incredibly wonderful fragrances, and so in the old days when people would arrive in Hawaii, well, they would typically have lei, as they call it, put around their neck. And so these are very easy to grow in Galveston. They love our heat, our humidity. Unfortunately, they will freeze, so that's the only difficulty in trying to grow them here.
Dr. Holland's experiences with his flowers, the tending of them, the nurturing of them, is the way he is with his patients. He's focused and concerned, and his results with his flowers and with his patients are remarkable.
And I've known Brian Holland since high school. We went to Ball High School together and played in the band together. And I can't tell you how proud I am of his 40 years with the UT system. He is a brilliant, passionate physician, and I'm honored to be his friend. Congratulations, Dr. Holland.
Hi, Brian. Want to really congratulate you for your over 40 years of service to UTMB. You've been a great inspiration and a leading role model for physician investigators and as well as clinicians. So congratulations. It's been great working with you.
Thank you, Brian. Thank you for giving me the opportunity to be here at UTMB. Thank you for all the years of service and all the tremendous care that you've given and all the people and patients that you've helped.
I guess 40 years is a long time to have been here, but actually I go back quite a bit before that, since I was born in Galveston, and I'm now 72, so it's way more than 40 years. My time here has certainly been very enjoyable, very rewarding, both professionally and personally, and it's been a very good 40 years.
Congratulations, Dr. Holland, from your team!
Our next honoree is Zenaida Rivera, a nurse clinician who works the night shift at Hospital Galveston. Her colleagues describe her as the mother of her department, always taking care of her peers as well as her patients. She exemplifies the best in nursing. She is known for encouraging others to succeed in their careers. She loves to cook and make sure there's always good tasting food around the unit so that her colleagues are always well fed. Let's learn more about Mrs. Rivera in this video.
When I come to work, I only think of UTMB. You know, I leave my house. My husband is retired. All our kids are grown up. They're all professional. They have their own profession. I come into that swinging door in there in the tower. Come in, go to the tower, walk in that rail. I said, you know, I think only about UTMB. I come here to take care of the patient. I come here to give them my best care.
He's a very, very professional nurse that I've met in my whole entire 20-something odd years as a nurse.
She tries to treat everybody like they're at home. Her patient, the doctors that are serving the patients, and she just provides a very collegial atmosphere.
The nurses, the nursing staff, we all work together. It's like a team. You know, we work with each other, we help each other. Hey, you know, we have to take care of the patients. It's not because they are TDC patients, but because they are patients.
Zenaida was one of those first people that really welcomed me. So people always say, hey, you know, welcome to our unit, it's going to be good working with you. But Zenaida is one of those people that makes you really feel like she sincerely is glad that you're there. And Zenaida really taught me how to start IVs. She taught me, you know, how to find the vein, the technique. And eventually I actually worked for probably about 5 years here at UTMB in infusion therapy, became certified as an infusion therapy nurse. So, you know, that's just one small influence that Zenaida had on my professional development.
Residents were really close with the nurses and the HUCs at the time. We did 36-hour call, and they actually felt a little sorry for us. So Mr. Rivera would always cook for us, if not nightly, at least once a week. And usually when you got a nurse to page you to see how things were going, it was always a problem with a patient. When she paged you, she called you to see how you were doing first and to let you know that they had food on the floor and to come by and eat.
And, you know, we all eat together. You know, I work nights, 7P, so each one bring food. And we just put it on the table and we just help each other with the food that we have. Or we order food and we all share it. So I guess, you know, that's why we stay close.
But Zenaida has a big deal about education, about learning more, getting more degrees. So when I came here, I was a diploma nurse. She was one of those people who said, oh, you got to get a bachelor's degree. And here's how you're going to get it. And you're going to do it. There was no like, I think you should. She just had the expectation. So I did get a bachelor's degree. You know, I'm so successful because of Zenaida, I really am.
Like I say, when I come into the hospital, I say my sign of the cross because I'm Catholic. And I say, Lord, today I'm coming to work again. So help me to take care of my patients, and that's it. My unit, my patients are my priority. And I guess that's how I survive my 40 years of nursing.
All right, so we'll get her recognition to her. Congratulations to Ms. Rivera. The last of our 40-year award recipients is Dr. Satish Srivastava, A professor in the Department of Biochemistry and Molecular Biology, Dr. Srivastava has had the remarkable distinction of consistently garnering research funding during every year of his 40-year career. He is nationally and internationally recognized for his research, which focuses on inflammation-related diseases such as diabetes and colon cancer. He also is very family-oriented, often inviting his work family into his home, and is described as a father figure to many. His son, Dr. Deepak Srivastava, a 1990 UTMB alum, today is a prominent physician and researcher in California. Dr. Deepak Srivastava last year was a recipient of our Ashbel Smith Distinguished Alumnus Award, the highest honor bestowed by our School of Medicine Alumni Association. You can be sure that Dr. Satish Srivastava is a very proud father. So let's learn more about him with this video.
Yeah, I have known Dr. Srivastava from last 16 years, and I joined here as a student with him and later become a faculty. I'm still associated with him. I'm still working with him. I'm proud to be part of his team.
It is very difficult to find scientists as excited towards and passionate towards the work and have such a jolly, good personality. He loves to say jokes. I mean, he would make us laugh in all the get-togethers when we have our lab parties and all.
He thinks it's not a lab, it's a family atmosphere. If you visit our lab, you can see that. It's a very nice place to work on.
My own, I have 3 children, 2 daughters and 1 son. And my first daughter is the oldest one. She is a psychiatrist. And the next one is an engineer, a civil engineer. And the third one is my son. He is also, he's more 100% almost a scientist.
Satish convinced his son, Deepak, to spend a month in my laboratory. Deepak was a medical student at UTMB at the time. A very bright young man. We had an excellent few weeks together in the lab. In fact, so excellent that Deepak returned and spent 6 months of his senior year with me. We wrote a very interesting paper together, and Deepak went on to much higher things. He eventually, after all his training, emerged and is now a director of a major pediatric cardiology division in the University of California, San Francisco.
And really, I'm proud of all the 3 of them very much. And in their own fields, they are doing very well.
And I think he's what I think of as core faculty, devoted to the institution, giving their lives to the institution.
Each time somebody comes from having moved on elsewhere, they pay their respects to this man because he has meant so much to so many people.
I always had passion for research and teaching, and I still continue it.
More than anybody qualifies as my scientific father. I mean, you'll hear, I'm sure, the notion that he is a family man, but his family doesn't extend just to his biological relatives.
One family is in the lab, where I spent all the time, during working days, and on Saturdays and Sundays, at least half a day, I will definitely be there, If I am there, then my lab family is also there.
We had a wonderful lab, and he's a dynamic person. We would do we were very hardworking. We would tease him also that he would make us start the work on Thursday so that we had to come on the weekend to work.
But I was always very well funded by NIH, at least 2 grants each all the time, and most of the time it was 3 grants. The help of those NIH grants, we were able to demonstrate that the colon cancer can be treated or even prevented, by using aldose reductase inhibitors. I was very lucky to have extremely bright and good graduate students and postdocs. And they are doing so well in their career that they are holding professorial positions at different universities in America and all over the world.
Thank you all for being here today. I really appreciate you sharing in the spirit of celebration, honoring all of you, honoring all of those with dedicated service to UTMB. Again, you all are the source of the great excellence that resides here. And now please join us for the king cake that Julie promised. It's across the hall in the Leavenhall dining room, and I look forward to seeing you there. Congratulations to all of you celebrating these significant milestones today. And please accept our heartfelt thanks for all that you do for UTMB. We are all truly fortunate to have you as colleagues. Thank you very much. Have a great day.